Arsenal are making big moves in the transfer summer window, or the summer transfer window, whatever you like to call it. And it seems as if they are trying to flex their muscles a little bit. Arsenal, before that we know, they used to be linked with players and no signing. And one of the most fantastic and surprising links in recent years is the fact that Victor Osimhen, the guy that actually led Napoli to their first title in a very long while, is being linked to Arsenal. This is Score City where passion meets purpose. Quickly, Mide, Arsenal and Osimhen. Are you surprised that Arsenal is even linked to Osimhen? Let's even start from there.
Well, for what Osimhen represents, he's a good player in his own right, but I would say for what he is, I think he's sort of suit the way Arsenal wants to play. You know, like we said about Romero this morning, about Romero joining Atletico Madrid. There are some certain players that you look at their profile and be like, wow, they kind of suit this team from head to toe. And Osimhen epitomizes everything that when it comes to that bit of I don't want to use the word thuggery, but that is what it looks like to me in the box. Using your might, everything just to get a goal. Scrambling, tearing opponent's shirts, doing all sorts of things. Is that thing, when it comes to presses, charging down your opponent, run down the channel, everything is an hustler on the pitch, and that is what Arteta likes in his players that can actually give their all, leave everything on the pitch, and that is the kind of person. So I'm not surprised that Arsenal actually linked to him.
Elizabeth is the Arsenal fan here. All gunners. You have Gyökeres. At least you cannot deny the fact that Gyökeres was to some extent instrumental in Arsenal doing whatever they did last season, winning the title. Are you surprised that after signing Gyökeres for at least a sizable amount of money last season, Arsenal are being linked to Osimhen this season?
I'm not surprised that it's a good one. If you look at a club look at the kind of players who've been linked to all through summer, they are not beans. These are people that naturally, before the era of Arteta, we will not be linked to players like this on a normal day. So that comes with the growth, the consistency that Arteta brings to the team, and also. But for Osimhen being linked to Arsenal, I think it's a good one. And let's not forget that Gyökeres needs a proper competitor. And for me, I don't care about what anybody thinks. I don't think Havertz is that competition for Victor Gyökeres in front of goal. For a big club like Arsenal that is chasing the Champions League, because for phase by phase, Arsenal have grown over the course of few seasons right now. And they've been growing in the Champions League, and then you need a proper, striker that can do what you're doing. For Arsenal, one thing we always enjoy is crosses. And then when you don't have, you need a striker that does all those good positional play in the box to get those goals. And one thing about that comes with Osimhen is area ability. Osimhen is one striker that scores with his head all the time. In fact, he's a proper header goal scoring striker. So for me, I think it's a good one. If he gets to come to Arsenal, at least we can now discard the likes of Gabriel Jesus, Havertz. I don't care whatever Havertz is playing, but I think
don't discard Gyökeres.
Gyökeres is, you see.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
Why do I want to use it? Why do I want to discard him?
That is what I want to
Why do I want to discard him?
I'm just asking
looking at what Osimhen brings, and then let's not forget that these two strikers, they offer different things. So having this kind of striker, imagine you start a Gyökeres and then Osimhen is coming, or you start this one of them. There's a game that you can play a 4-4-2 whereby you have the two strikers in front of goal doing the magic. The offer is a brilliant one overall for me if he gets to join us now.
Midi, now that Arsenal has been linked to Osimhen, let's even imagine that Arsenal signs Osimhen. What do you think happens to Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus? How does Osimhen fit into the Arsenal lineup? Do you think that he can actually thrive with Arsenal? Considering the fact that Arteta has always preferred forward guys that can link up play, that can sometimes even drop into midfield, compared to Osimhen that is a poacher in the box, how do you think he will fit into the Arsenal team?
I think the best way to actually the tactical fit for Osimhen at Arsenal will actually be that it will be the number 9. You get me? Havertz will not be it will be the next in line when it comes to rotating with the number 9, the starting.
Where does that leave Gyökeres?
Yeah, well, Gyökeres, I don't know for him. I don't know where he fits in this one, because in a way, if Arsenal gets Osimhen, he automatically replaces Gyökeres, because they are the same sort of players that they like to run down the channel, get at the end of crosses, at the end of chances are being created by the support cast. So these are things that you want to see in Osimhen, but they're already in Gyökeres. And if Arsenal actually looking at Gyökeres at Osimhen, it means probably so there are some fundamental play that is lacking in Gyökeres that they want to address with Osimhen. Osimhen will give you that directness, that pace, that acceleration, that that as much as we want to say everything about Gyökeres is what Osimhen can do and more.
And more.
Osimhen can actually give you that area ability, like she said. That area dominance is very key, especially in the Premier League where you have to be very.
And then corner kick is also our watchword.
Exactly. So
you need a striker. Of course, no. Corner kick is our watch set piece.
That's why I said tearing shirts in the box, all those things, all those reactives,
Charging. He's a terminator.
Yes, batting
a killer.
A ram, battering ram.
Now you sabi that one. Now you sabi
that is what that is what what do you call it? Arteta likes, he likes his players to be actually be that form of do everything you can to get goals, irrespective of what it will be. Even if you have to tear the opponent's shirt, I don't know, but that is what it is. So how does it fit in? It will be a case of him. If he comes in, I'm very sure that Gyökeres is going out. That's just it.
I said Elizabeth, squad harmony and balance. How does Arteta balance all these star players in the team? What do you think? Will this not disrupt team harmony? Looking at the fact that these are the same set of players that actually won us.
There'll be limited chances for people.
First of all, one thing I love the fact that I love Arteta for is his way of controlling the dressing room. He knows how to make sure that everybody understands. Ever since Eze joined, let me not talk about Eze. Let's talk about Nogard. Imagine an experienced player from Brentford,
captain of
Brentford, coming to Arsenal, and he has been, he spends more days on the bench.
He had only one Premier League start.
He spends more days on the bench.
No wonder he left for Everton. No wonder. How can you keep the captain on the bench for one full
like that? And there was never a time that you hear him come to the media to complain. That is how you, as a coach, a big coach controls the dressing room and then brings harmony into the team. They understand the focus is, okay.
What if that is just Nogard being professional?
How many players have you seen do that? You cannot see that in Arsenal team.
Lewis Kelly was just being offered to Chelsea and Manchester
United. That's
a
rumor.
Well,
let me not tell you something.
Now from dance,
he's one of our own. He's one of our own.
Now from club dance, they start.
Miles Lewis Kelly is one of our own. You see that face? That thing where you look for, you don't go see him. And so for me, I feel like
who Lewis Kelly safe? I beg
you.
Let's be real.
We've had the true story that it was Chelsea that leaked this whole thing in the media.
Imagine Chelsea
by his mom.
Who won Lewis Kelly? Who is Kelly? Who
verified Arsenal source. I will not mention him here. I'm going to show you after this.
Even my jacuzzi boy is not better than
jacuzzi. The one Lewis Kelly.
Jacuzzi boy is not better than
Lewis Kelly.
Anyway, let's continue.
For me, so I feel like first of all, in that striking position, I think good. It's time for Gabriel Jesus to first of all to move to the Syria side of to Syria. So to continue his journey, but for me, I think Arteta knows how to make sure that everybody understand what the purpose and the project of the boys and of the team is. So it's a good one for me. I think there won't be issue. There won't be issue.
Well, for me, I think Victor Osimhen actually gives Arteta another form of headache because
it be waiting. It be.
One thing that we all know that will first be Arteta's problem is how to keep him calm. Very, very important.
We've dealt with people like that.
Media has overemphasized on this, how to keep him calm. Once he's calm, because sometimes Osimhen gets hot-head. We cannot deny that. And maybe it will not spill into his teammates. But if Arteta is able to keep him calm and he keeps his head cool, because Premier League defenders, Premier League referees, once he begins to show the hot head, they'll target him.
Xhaka do pass this one.
Waiting
Osimhen they do. Xhaka do pass him. And for me, I feel like if Arteta can bring back a good relationship between Granit Xhaka and the fans and do all of this, I think Arteta is capable to make him very cool and then
quickly let's look at the financial impact of this signing on Arsenal. If Arsenal is going to bring Osimhen, this same Chelsea guy that is ranting now, they were actually linked to Osimhen.
Of course,
they did not sign him. Why? Because Chelsea felt like the money was asking for, in terms of wages, not even a signing fee. Yeah. In terms of wages, it's too much and it will break their wage structure. Arsenal also has a wage structure. You understand? They have the amount of money that they are willing to pay players per week in terms of wages and everything.
Course.
Do you think Arsenal is ready to risk breaking their wage structure to bring in Osimhen? Is Arsenal ready for that kind of gap right now?
No. To be very honest, and as much as I appreciate all his attributes and what comes with him if he joins Arsenal and giving us that final goal poacher in front of goal, doing the magic, I don't think Arsenal will do that. We've seen Arsenal, the highest earner at Arsenal right now is Bukayo Saka. So we don't. There's
Arsenal pay
nobody.
good salary. There's no
We
way.
pay.
Yeah,
But
Arsenal do
but what
pay
he-
good salary, but they have a salary structure.
Structure.
There's a kind of money that you can earn as depending on the kind of
Do you know
value that you
how
give to
much
Arsenal.
Guimaraes is earning?
How much is it?
Do you know how much Havertz take?
How much is Guimaraes earning?
Of course, I know of Havertz. Havertz
Hello.
was the highest earner before
Hello. How
Saka's
much does he earn? Hello,
Saka
Mide?
now is over 300.
Yes.
Hello,
Yes,
hello,
Havertz is over is 280.
280.
Sterling at some point had 200, even he was on loan.
Even
It
though
was
on
and we were
Mide-
sharing
Mide,
with Chelsea.
compare all these wages you are mentioning to the likes of Manchester United and Manchester City. Their best players. How much do you think they pay them? How much does Casemiro earn? How much? does
what I'm
this-
saying is that
So the thing is, even if you are saying that, yes, Arsenal might be willing to pay good wages, but there's a cap.
Of course.
Will Arsenal be ready to go above that for
Before
Osimhen?
you can even get up to those Saka level, there is something you must have offered, to the team in terms of, in
And
terms
you should
of influence,
you should also
goals,
understand that
everything.
the leadership structure determines the wages.
Of course.
How much you are valued as a leader. If you check the guys that earn the high amount of money in Arsenal, they are actually the leaders. They might not be wearing the captain number directly, but they are in the group of leadership. Arsenal has a leadership group.
Of
You get
course.
it now?
Every team does.
Are they willing to break that structure just to bring Osimhen? Because Osimhen comes into Arsenal, will he be made a leader? Will he be made the captain?
I think for me, Arsenal would not do that. If he wants to join an elite club like everybody, like every Nigerian fans want him to do, he needs to reduce.
How much do you think Osimhen? Let me put you on the spot. How much do you think?
No. Let me answer your question.
How much do you think is worth?
Let me
Okay,
answer
you
the
want
question.
now Arsenal now.
Of
Now,
course.
Arsenal, you know how much your players earn normally. Okay, Arsenal wants to sign Osimhen. You know Osimhen no be small boy.
Of
So
course.
how much is this Arsenal supposed to pay him?
At least if you can take 280.
it will be highest paid at Arsenal if he joins
That's
Arsenal.
the issue.
gonna
Nobody
be the
see
highest paid.
for
How
what
much is it? How much does he earn at Galatasaray right now?
It's
almost
close to
400.
300.
Yes.
Saka earns 350. Do you think 300 will make him a highest paid in Arsenal?
No,
Like,
it
If
has
Arsenal
more than
match,
300
if
though.
Arsenal match his wages, then he's good to go.
I think it has more
He
than
earns more than 300. I don't know the actual figure.
It's-
But
he
it doesn't,
earns
it
more
doesn't
than-
end up to
in
350.
the excess.
it has more than that.
He earns more than that.
I'm
That
not
was-
sure. I don't want
That
to
was
be very,
why. That was why.
I don't want to be very,
when Baka was actually linked to him, there was this rumor about being linked.
So
He-
okay,
he-
let's just break this once and for all. Do you feel like Arsenal should take the risk and probably pay?
Well, for me,
if he's
no.
asking for 400, should Arsenal pay 400?
I just believe
No.
that for what he's about, well, he's an elite finisher and one of the best that you can.
He's
actually
just
get.
27.
And he's
No, he was 28 December.
He'll be entering his prime. At this point, 27 or 28 is entering his prime, or he probably he's just starting his prime. So what I'm saying is that this is a player that every European player team wants to have. He's a number 9 that every team wants to have. At some point, he was, I think, the 8th best player in the Ballon d'Or ranking, and
Definitely.
that's
That
it.
was as I
the
said that
highest
last year.
finish.
So you cannot just be there by luck because you are good. The only issue is just because of his temperament and the way he has actually been.
And I also believe that all the
carrying
temperament that they are saying is just because of his
His
passion.
His
God bless
passion
you.
for the
No,
game.
passion-
That's why
the
I said that
way he
if
wants
he
to
joins
play the game,
Arsenal,
the way-
there's
how
something
much he
about
loves
his.
to play.
This is one of the reasons why I said it will be a good fit for Arsenal. He embodies everything that.
We
For me, good. The transfer fee should not be the problem now. The wages, I think, is where.
I want to believe that if Arsenal wants him, they should be able to get him. They have enough
course.
money. All the money they collect is all these days. Champions League, Premier League.
No, it's the wages. We are trying to follow our structure. So
Oh,
it's not about paying for him.
Not won the Champions League.
Now you sabi.
Let's round up with this one. If Osimhen comes to Arsenal, would that give them an edge going to the Champions League? Can they eventually win the Champions League with Osimhen?
Well, he has pedigree, but can he carry them over the line? Sometimes it's not just about having the best players; it's about having the luck and actually having the.
Do they stand a chance having a
Of
striker like
course,
Osimhen in the team?
definitely. As much as I don't really rate him personally, I don't like because of his temperament and everything. So, no team, like I said, minus that thing, that little clause about him. I think he's one of the best finishers in Europe, and every team will kill to have. So, if Arsenal have him in their team, their Champions League chances goes up.
Elizabeth, can Arsenal win Champions League with Osimhen?
Of course. Because one thing you want is a player that comes with passion for the game. And that's one thing I like about Enzo. Whatever anybody says about Enzo Fernandez, I dust it off because of the passion that comes with it. You don't just want to play, you don't just want to do this.
Buy
There must
him
be
to your
passion
team.
behind it.
Tell Arteta to buy him to your team.
But collect them. No, for Osimhen, I think he's going to, he's going to get us over the line. And then when we have the option of 2 experienced strikers that can do magic, I think it's going to be a good one.
It's actually going to be an interesting one. I want to see Gyökeres and Osimhen at Arsenal. I want to see that luxury of having two good strikers, people that can convert at Arsenal, and let's see if Arteta will be able to manage them, because sometimes there's a difference between having the luxury of players to play and being able to manage them to get the result, and that is what differentiates a normal manager from an outstanding manager, and that is what would always, most times when people want to complain about Pep Guardiola that is spending money, I tell you, there's a difference between spending money and knowing how to spend the money.
Of course.
If you give you money, maybe they waste time.
Of course.
There are people like money.
Slots.
You get some people say they call them money.
And it's slots.
You get people who they call money Miss Road. So that is that on that concerning Victor Osimhen to Arsenal. Do you think Arsenal can get in? Should Arsenal break the bank? Say maybe they break all their cool, all the money we don't do save since all these days, since the Wenger era, we didn't want to spend. Maybe they carry and give Osimhen. Say Osimhen, take, can't they score the goals from us? Do they have everything it takes to bring Osimhen? Can Osimhen get them that elusive Champions League trophy? Please drop your comments in the comment section. This is Score City, where passion meets purpose. Please follow us across all our social media handles as Score City HQ. And remember, this is football, and we all love football. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Kindly follow Score City on all platforms. Do well to check our next video.